Good morning and sliding into afternoon. Judy Allan here, San Antonio, Texas. It is Wednesday and it's hump day, right? And we are supposed to get some rain. So it's overcast outside. I got some extra light going on here to help out. So there you go. And I'm excited because it's going to rain. That means I'm going to be sure to plant some plants today, vegetables and some herbal type plants. So we'll take advantage of the rain that we're going to get today and tomorrow. So I'm excited, right? So let's get ready to go down the hands because this is our third. So last week I showed you a card, and if you got my newsletter, I showed you the card that we would be making today. And so this is not a simple card, right? So it's always keep it simple or step it up. This is really a stepped up card today. But it's fun and it's really easy to do, and that's what I'm going to show you what to do, all right? So let's go down to the hands and let's do this. So this is what I created last week, and the tutorial is in my newsletter. So if you want it, you just have to sign up for my newsletter and send the notes there. And then this is the one we're creating today. This one I'm not going to create live, but it is part of the free class kit to go. And I have a fourth card to show you, but I'm going to try to show you tomorrow because I've got Operation Cleanup and Gardening today. So, yes, I craft so much I got to clean up. So this is the one we're going to make today. I'm going to show you how we did this. It's really a lot more stamping than anything else, but I'm going to show you how we die cut and everything because there is die cutting here, alright? So first thing is, I've got even my instructions of everything I use there, right? Because sometimes it's a matter of leaving it. So I'm going to sit there and we're going to do some die cutting first, alright? So I'm going to sort of set this aside. I've already die cut one, but I'm going to show you how to do this, right? So just hang with me a moment. Some of this has already been done. Let me set that aside. So I'm going to show you how to do this, and we're not ready for this yet either. Alright, so I'm going to stamp on this first, because we're going to actually die cut this piece right here. Alright? So let me go ahead and stamp this here, and I literally brought out all my blocks today. So if you think I have a lot of blocks, well, if you do the kits, anything that's got ink in it, right, you're going to have to stamp. Oops, sorry. So it's like, usually you can tell because they're $23 if one's got a block in it, ink and everything, so you can stamp and go. So I collect them. I use them for cards for kids in the hospital, classes, when I need extra ones, right? So I'm just going to make sure I get this done all the way around really good. And you're going to see how it's going to look like this right here. And I'm going to set this aside because I don't have to go and clean everything off right away today. Alright, now what I'm going to show you here is this is going to fit, and you just have to work around, make sure you get the right side up, okay? See how this is going to fit perfectly just like this here? And we're going to die cut that just like that right there. And I actually have what I call a magic mat, and actually I have a magnetic plate here too. So what happens is I don't have to use washi tape. Sometimes I will, or a post-it note. But you can see how nice this fits right here. I'm just going to use a post-it note just so that in case it decides to move on me, I got it secured there, right? You can use washi tape. I keep post-it notes handy. And I'm going to have to get my die cutting machine out here. Alright? And we're just going to crank this through. Let's see here. I got a lot of stuff here. That's okay. I'm just going to go through here. And, yep, I'm looking to see what's going to be in my way behind me. Alright, because I've got everything already lined up. Alright, so this is number one, okay? And I'll show you this in a minute. Let me go ahead, and we're going to go ahead and do the other one, okay? So this comes out. And see how nice that's going to come out just like that? And I'm going to set it aside. We're going to use it. Now I'm going to show you how we're going to do the other one. So the other one's going to be off-centered here. Let me pull this back a little bit further so you can see. Alright, so when you go and use this arch die, let's see if I can get that. It's really close. Let me put it down a little bit second, and then I'll move this back up. Alright, so when you go and put this on here, here's the die, and you see that it's cut all the way around. So what we're going to do is we're just going to put it off to the side just like that right there so it's not going to cut, okay? Not on the left side because we're going to use that left side. And again, I got the magnet under here, but I can still put this down if I want to. And we're just going to set it like that there. And you see how that just holds it down. And I do use the magic mat because it cuts into that and my plates don't warp as much. So let me go ahead and get this one cut. That's all we had the die cut. Now, last week I told you we would do the butterfly card that I showed you last week, and we will. We're going to first do this card here, the Easter card, and then I'll show you the butterfly card, okay? So if you're wondering what I'm talking about by the butterfly card, it was the one that we looked at last week, like this. All right? So after we finish this one, we'll do that one, okay? So I'm going to take this off. And see how it just cuts it off? And you just take it out here. And we're going to open it up just like that, okay? So let me put this aside because we're done with that. And get this aside. All right, so I have here a little piece here. So I have here, this is just a 1/2 inch piece. And these little squares will show you, so it's just a 1/2 inch piece. And what we're going to do with this 1/2 inch piece is we're actually going to connect these two here. All right? So all we're going to do is we're just going to come like right here. All right? So the main thing is, when you go put this together, we're just going to put it together like that. And I can hold it together with my Post-it note. And then I'm just going to sit there and just glue this down back here, and we can trim off the excess, okay? So let's do that. You know what? Let me just use some tear and tape. Let me just use some tear and tape. That'll be quicker and easier. So if it won't run, just run across your hand like that, and it'll work just fine. All right? I try not to sweat the small stuff. So I have a lot of things going on, right, this week. So in addition to gardening, because we're on stage 3 water restrictions still, so that means I want to take advantage of the rain that's coming. All right, so see how I have this right here? I'm going to take that off. So I would just trim it off. So for me, yes, I want to be sure to take advantage of the rain, right? Because if I'm going to plant a tomato, pepper, or whatever, it only costs $100 for one tomato because I'm on stage 3 water restriction. Okay, that did not stick. I thought that would stick just fine, but it did not. All right, let's use some glue then. Wrong one. Here we go. That one's ready to go. All right, so I didn't have enough sticky stuff down there, so I'm just going to put it down here. Because I need it to stick really good, right? Because I'm going to fold this. And this is how it's going to have the trifle. Now, when I originally had done this, I'd actually sort of messed up. I shouldn't say I messed up, right? So we always have opportunities for creativity. We don't really mess up. What I did do, though, is I tried to see if I could die cut through all 4 at the same time, right? Just the edge. And I'm going to put this over here just to make sure. And it didn't. So it left just a little piece that I had to literally hand cut or fussy cut. All right, now see how this is going to go right here? Now this is the best time to go ahead and stamp. Because if you see this card here, there's a lot of stamping, right? So it's really easier to go and stamp it all right now. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start with the flowers. So yes, if you look at this, I have combined a number of things, right? So I've done the Faith collection. I've got the Delightful Wishes. This is from the Delightful Wishes. And then I have some Easter stuff. So when I stamp for this here, I found, especially when I'm using Lemon Lolly, which is very, very light, and this is Daffodil Delight, I found it was just much easier for me if I went ahead and did the dark color first. So let's look at our card here. So you can see the dark color, which is Daffodil Delight, and Lemon Lolly is just the really, really light color you see right there in the back. So I've just gone in, and let's just go ahead, and we're just going to stamp one on each side, right? Doesn't matter which, right? I did some in the center here, like this one here. Then the next one I just did over here to the corner. So if you looked at it, it looked like it's, if I opened it up, right? I'm not sure who I'm going to give this to, but I know for sure one of my aunts is going to get this, right? If not, I may end up making 2 of these for each aunt. So they get the same one, right? So, yeah, I've done that many times before where I made sure to send off my aunts the same thing, right? Because my aunts talk. They're sisters, they talk. All right, so this, when you want to do this one here, so this is Lemon Lolly. It's really light. So it's, I'm going to try to line it up, but you know what? If you don't get it lined up exactly, it's really not going to matter, right? I know we want everything perfect, but that's sort of interesting because that really came across darker than I wanted, but it's okay. It lightens up. All right, okay? So they're going to all look different. All the flowers look different outside, right? So at least got that part of the flower done. Now the other part of the flower is, I'm just going to take the leaves here. And I actually used, let's see if I saw, you know what, I actually just used this. And I didn't mask off. What I did is I just made sure to ink, put that there. I just made sure to ink just one side of this. So I just did this little bitty green leaf side. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So it's really, whatever is easiest for you, right? Some things are easy I can do and other people can't. There's other things people can do that I can't do. I don't seem to think I can anyway. Alright, so I just did it like this here. Now, like I said, if you want to, you can mask it off. I didn't. And I just came over and I just tucked a leaf in here, right? So like I said, this particular card has a lot of stamping on it, right? Because we're going to also put some faith. Let's see here. It's a matter, is it easier to do this or this? So yeah, we're just getting our ink on here. Like I said, it's easier, much, much easier to sit there and go ahead and get this stamped now while it's flat. Because once we put the front on it, right, it's not flat anymore. So that's why it's just better to go ahead and do it and rotate it around. Get your leaves in there wherever you want them. And for me, I just want some greenery, right? So I'm not really, I did actually get some yellow there, but I'm not sure where I got that from. All right, I'm going to set that aside because we're going to do through that one at the moment. Now, I shouldn't say, we're going to use this for Easter greetings. All right, now this is from, Storybook Life. I don't know why I say it because I'm the only person here, but still, it's noisy. All right, and I'm just going to, because I'm going to separate the words. I'm not going to put them together in the aspect of one long word. So I'm going to eyeball where I want the word blessing. Now, we'll have to clean this off because I will tell you that I don't have anything over there, but just in case. If I had white paper over here, right, and I still had a little bit of ink on here, that would sit up there and actually go on over. So we don't want to do that. All right, so then I'm going to take Easter. And again, like I said, you can mask it off. Or if you just go in the corner like that. Oh, gosh, I just did that. Okay. All right, so if this really bothers me and I can't do anything creative with it, I would go and let's try to just do something white and put over it there. But I'm not going to worry about it at the moment. As far as that, I could do some other things too. Alright, so we threw this stamp here. Now the only other thing is I had faith, hope, and love here. Okay? So I did faith, hope, and love in pecan pie ink. And I know I have it because I had it a minute ago as I was looking for it. And so that's all I'm going to do. Now, well, I'll show you how to the easiest way to sit there and get your stamps and get everything lined up. I think I just had my extra one I just used there. I did. Okay, not a problem. Let me get I got the faith, hope, and love. So an easy way to get your, if you don't think you can stamp straight, is use, this is actually a glass mat, but I also have paper. So you can sit there and love never gives up. And I'm sort of spacing this out because I'm using two different colors, right? And let me space them. So one's separate. I'm going to have to clean the colors off, but still I'm going to separate them out so I don't do different colors. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these leaves I just had and used and put them aside. And I'm just going to take this block. And if you want everything exactly perfect, straight for yourself, then just find you a square that you can square up, just like this here. You can do it like that, and it picks it up right for you. Okay, so a lot of just different tips and tricks today. So I'm going to do the love. And love is actually going to set the tone for where I'm going to place everything else, right? So I'm going to put love here. Okay, and we were going to clean as we go because I could come back and do the other words, but we're going to stick to pecan pie at the moment and get all the pecan pie stuff done. Okay, so the next one is I did faith, hope, and love. So let's do hope next. And this just lets you sort of see, so you can sit there and line yourself up, right? So I did this right here. I just sort of like eyeballed it and lined it up. And now we're going to do faith. And I just chose to do mine in different colors, right? But you don't have to. If you want to do them all in one color, you could. And when I originally had done this first one, I actually had sort of bent it over just so I could see how it was going. And again, I'm just eyeballing it. So I assure you, I don't think any of my family members or friends are going to say anything if I didn't get it like perfectly straight, right? If they did, I would use my mother-in-law's rules, and that is you can't critique unless you have made one yourself, right? You made it yourself. And if you did that, then you can critique. So that I can critique yours, right? I think that's fair. Oh, that's such a good philosophy. All right, so we're just going to come in and stamp this underneath. So each one's got a sentiment, right? So I'm just going to put it right here. Just try to center it is all I did. Okay. And then we got the hope. Yeah, I want to be sure not to get that right. Almost got the word hope. Oh, the bow. Okay, yeah, this is one of my paper pumpkin blocks. So you can see I almost like lined that up pretty good without even trying. All right. And last but not least, we need our love. Where did our love go? Faith, hope, and love. There you are. Again, we're just going to do the bottom because we're already to the top. And I'm going to come down there and I'm just going to give it like it's like right center right there. Okay, so that gets us all squared away on that part here stamped. Now we just still have the front of the card, but we have more work to do, right? So here's the front of the card. All right, so the first thing we're going to do, this is a vellum, all right? So if you use glue, the glue is going to show through. If I use my tape runner, it's not going to show through. And actually, I tried to originally, I just sort of did it on the inside. So you can't see that through there. I didn't necessarily go corner to corner. I just came across like this. So this, what I'm putting this on, this is like half of a card, right? It's just gonna be my base. So this is a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So it's just taking your regular card base and cutting it in half, basically. That's all you're doing. If you need to trim any of it off later, you can. All right, and then this is going to go centered. So, I told you how this is going to have to bend. All right, so I've got it glued down. Let's see if I can get this down here. And that's all I'm going to do is just fold it, okay? And make sure everything's lined up and it folds good. And it's going to come over just like this. So one of the things we are going to do this right here is we are going to use some ink on here. And we're actually going to use a brush. So we got a lot of techniques for this today. But, I know this is going to my aunt's. So I want it to be super special, right? So if you need some white or whatever, and I'm looking to see what I have. And I don't think I brought, I did all that. Right now, let me look for something white here. Okay, here, I see something here. All right. So I usually just take it here, right, just to get it going. So I get my circular motion going, and I just go like this here. So you just keep on adding enough to as dark as you want it. So when you see this here, I really did a little bit heavier, right, so I can add more to it. All right, and I think that's as much as I want. Now just wash this out with soap and water, and I can use it again, right? I don't have to have a bunch of them. Just have to have enough to get done what I want to get done. Okay, that's my notes. Just something else I'm doing. What on my wish list, right? Okay, so we've got it right here, and we got this part right here. So here's our original, okay? So what we're going to do here is we're going to put this up here with dimensionals. And I was trying to see, okay, if you see here, I went ahead and colored this. See how I colored that and what a difference it makes? So let's go ahead and do that. Let's see if I've got enough left over on my brush here. If not, I'll have to get a little bit more out. You know, I'm thinking, I just cleaned off everything. This is why today's Operation Cleanup as well as Operation Gardening, because all I do is create on top of creating on top of creating. At some point, you got to go clean up the mess you made, right? And today's the day. All right, so see, I just gave it a little bit. Now you see I did a little bit heavier here, but I'm okay with that. So if I want to do more, I can do more, but that's just where I'm going to be right now. If I want to come back later and add a little bit more, I can, right? So like a recipe, you know, you can add salt, and if you add too much salt, you have an opportunity. So the same thing, right? I can add, and if I want to add some more later, I can. This one actually came and pull that right off. All right, so we're just going to stick this on the front here, just like this right here, right in the center. And then I set up here and I put this up here with dimensionals on top of this. So when you stamp this out, this also die cuts this one and I embossed it. It's going to go right here, and I put this up on dimensionals, but X marks the spot, right? I don't have to think about where it's going to go. I know exactly where it's going to go. So let's get some of these. So right, so the other ones that you saw, the other cards I made, some of the cards I just made by taking some basic white cardstock, right, or whatever color I wanted, and I made my own crosses, and then I embossed it. This, on the other case, I sat there and used the dies that comes with the set, so this would fit right in the middle here, and then I embossed it as well. So I just did the birchwood embossing folder to get the wood look there. And they do have a die in there they'll cut and do it as well too, but this is how I want to do it this round, okay? All right, so I still need a stamp on this. He is risen. So let's go ahead and get that done. And then we're going to attach this. Let's see where my he is risen. That was one of the very, very first ones I put on my stamps. Okay. Oh, here. No, that's not. That's the love one. All right. I had a little bitty square. And I'm not seeing my little bitty square at the moment. Like it's like a 1 inch by 1 inch. Alright, we won't stamp it just yet then because I don't see my little 1 inch by 1 inch square that I had done. It's okay. Alright, so let's go ahead and just put it on here then. So all we're going to do is we're going to glue it on here, and then it's just a matter of adding embellishments, right? So I'm just going to add this on here. Right, so other exciting things happening this week is our retreat, right? Early bird sign up for the retreat that's in April begins this Friday. So yeah, I gotta get that all out and just working on designs for the retreat, right? So constantly busy. Even when I spoke to my husband last night, he goes, "It's retreat time again." I said, "Believe it or not, it really, really is." Alright, so we're going to put some bees in here. I did put bees, and I did use Wink Stella too. So when you add Wink Stella, so if I want to add some more yellow, I might add some more yellow, but I actually just put Wink Stella on everything, right? Just gives a little extra sparkle. Because we're also going to put some ribbon on here. And I just do this around here too. Now, if I go and put some more yellow on here, I'm going to have to put some more Wink Stella, right? And I might put some more yellow because it's not showing as much yellow as I would like. But I'm going to at least get He Is Risen on here first, okay? I'm going to put some, so we are going to put some, these little trinket bees here, on here. But first, let's go ahead and get our ribbon on here. So on the ribbon, because I did a bee on every page, right? Every page that I created. So what I did here is, I think I just took about 6 inches of ribbon. It doesn't take a lot. We're just going to cause it to drape, right? I'm still looking for my little square. It's here. You know what? Here it is. Ta-da! I have a flower on the other side. Good. Lost and found. See, it's like a little square. It might be a rectangle. yay, I'm glad, because it's like, it's gotta be right here. Alright, so let's go ahead. Let's see if I can do this here. It's like I was busy searching as I was stamping, right? Alright, we want he is risen. I do put stamps on top of stamps, right? So I got a stamp on one side, and I got this one right here. I just do that so it saves me trying to like do all of them, right? So with the ribbon for this, and we can just put this closed again, now that we got that stamped. Just trying to think what I had that was heavy to hold it still for me. Right there. Okay, I need it to stay closed for the moment, right? So I'm taking this ribbon here. It's just about 5 to 6 inches, that's all. And just cutting it straight down the center because it's just really too thick for what I want to do, right? Okay. Put that aside. And we're going to use glue dots. So I use glue dots to put the ends down, and then I use another glue dot to secure it, period. Okay. So you have to sort of get an eyeball of what you want, right? Let me even try to see what I did. Alright, so I just sort of scooched it up like this. And we're going to do one side, and we're going to drape it and do the other side. So this is about what I wanted. So I just put a glue dot right up here at the top. Alright, if it went off, just do it like that. And so I already know this is how I want it to go, like this. So I just anchored it right there. Okay. And then I know it's going to come this way, so I actually just took a glue dot and I just rolled it. Okay. So just all you got to do is take your fingernail, you can take your pick tool or whatever works for you. And I just put it right there, knowing I'm going to come across. It just helps keep it down, right? That's all we're trying to do, because I want it to drape. And the glue dot's very forgiving. So if it's not exactly the way you want it, right? It's very forgiving and let you still do it. Now, so I didn't want a big hoop, right? I just want enough. So I'm just going to do this right here. So get it draped however you want, because all we're going to do over here is just sort of keep on messing with like that, okay? So again, do like I did on the other side. And I'm just going to put the glue dot here. Sometimes it comes off on my finger. Okay, so that wasn't exactly where I want it. That's fine. I'm just going to take it and put it where I want it, right? Okay, so I already know I'm going to want it right here. So I'm just going to pinch this right where I want it draped. So see how I'm going to get it right draped just like that. Pat Hoover, I can hear you telling me right now, my fingers are too fat. I'm feeling that right now. Okay, yes. So I'm going to do that right like that. Alright, and then I'm just going to come back down. See, I didn't get it quite draped like I want. But that's alright. Just move it a little bit. It's not like glue, right? We haven't like glued it down so it can't be moved. And even if we had, I could tell you had to deal with that too. Okay, so that's about what I want. So you do have to, right? You're going to have to put a glue dot or something down. See, that one did stick to my finger. And there we go. Alright, I'm just going to take this and I'm going to put it right here on the side here. Right? Okay, now I'm just going to come down. I'm just going to squish it like right there into the glue dot. And I have my drape. Okay, so you can adjust it any way you want to. Same thing here. Then once I've got it the way I want it, then just trim it, right? So it can be as long or as short as you want. It's about the same. And that's what I looked for there. Okay, so I'm not going to go ahead and put bees on every single page, but at least get the front one done, right? So for me, when things are tiny like this, I just put a dot wherever I want it to go. Hopefully it's just going to be a dot. The other day I got a glob out. This morning I got a glob out. Alright. And I'm just going to put it right above the dot there and let it dry. Okay? And then we'll put more bees on the inside because they're just cute. It goes good with this. And we've got this done here, right? Except for adding some more bees on the inside. And of course, I'll add Wink of Stella, but I'll have to wait till the bee dries, okay? So let me put this aside while I show you how we did the butterfly. All right, so last week I showed you this here. And see how the ends can stand as well as be. So it can be a home decor piece. as well as being a card, right? So I'm going to show you how to do this. First thing we're going to do is we're going to emboss. I'm going to show you how to use this 3D embossing folder. It's a hybrid embossing folder. And what that means is I can die cut and emboss at the same time. So I already know who I'm making this for, right? I usually do. That's what I try to go for. So I'm going to do something. Who am I making it for? That's what inspires me. Okay, let me put that aside. So when you use a hybrid folder, that means you can die cut and emboss at the same time. So you have to look. Usually it's pretty big and obvious. So this butterfly here can be die cut. Excuse me. I got the hiccups, I feel like. All right, and I can die I can die cut and emboss at the same time. Don't ask me all of a sudden I'm going to have the hiccups. That's too funny. I could tell you last time I had hiccups. All right, so hold on there, because we are embossing, we're going to use an embossing folder. Now, anytime you use the 3D hybrid embossing folder, you're going to have to use, just like it says here, use a 3D embossing. And this way, because that's what it's going to cut. Well, it's not going to cut this, right? It's going to cut through the paper and the image simultaneously. And I just do it that way so I can make sure I line it up and all. See how this is going to line up right there? So we're going to put this through here. And I'm going to get that embossing machine and I'm going to show you how it does it. All right? So our die cutting and embossing. So this is the beauty of it. I mean, I really do like the 3D embossing hybrid folders because, right, I get a twofer. Right? I get something embossed as well as something cut out at the same time. Yes, it makes that noise, so it doesn't mean your machine broke. It just means it's doing its job, right? Okay, so when you pull this off, see all the embossing I got there, and I have my die cut umbrella. No, not umbrella, butterfly. Don't ask me where that came from. All right, so then pull this out, and you can see it did not cut this. Right? Now, if I set it there, and we sort of discussed this previously on another one, if I put this embossing here, and let's say I was embossing all this, but I didn't have anything right here. If I have this die strictly, and it's going to be on this plastic with no paper underneath it, it will cut into this, all right? But as long as you got your paper and your die cutting your paper, you're not going to damage it, as you can see. It looks just fine. All right, so I'm going to set this aside, and we got one other one we're going to do. The other piece of when I made this, and here's all the pieces we're going to use in just a minute, is I use this here. Now this gives you all the detail. Now this one I'm actually going to do in chocolate brown. And as I told you, I've already got an idea of what I'm going to make and what I'm going to do with this. So I'm going to set this aside because this isn't for day. I just want to show you how it's done, right? So we're going to do this here. And this one is going to be die cut. Okay, so I'm just going to put it here on my mat. Right here. Yes, you'll have to wait and see what I'm going to do. Because I'm going to actually, you know, lots of times we make butterflies, we use black or whatever. I'm going to use early espresso. Because I have some colors in mind already to make my butterfly. So we're actually the butterfly you just saw me cut out. Okay, I'm going to do this left-handed side. The butterfly you just saw me cut out, I'm actually going to end up coloring it. Now, I'm not going to show you that today because it's another totally different project, right? So I get ideas in my mind, and I want to make them, but I have to remember that I have to stay on task, right? All right, so it just perfectly cuts out like this. Now, what you may have to do, and what I had to do earlier is I had to get my little tool, which I don't have it right now, and you'd have to sit there and get these all out. Yeah, I have this one set up here so I can at least get my butterfly out. And then there's another tool with a brush on it that can brush all this other stuff out. Sometimes I'll leave it when stuff is mailed, knowing it's going to most likely come out. But you see most of that all came out. It's a few little pieces that might not come out right away, but see what it does? See how nice that makes it? So think about it, if you had this on top of this here, and we add some color in the background, what do we get? Something very pretty. All right, I'm going to set this aside. because we're not making that part of it right now. We're going to do the gold one because I actually owe somebody a congratulations, and that's what this is being made for. All right, so last week I sat there and I showed you how we cut this out so it would be one piece. And this is one piece, but today I got it off just a little bit and left that there. And I thought that was way too cool, so I thought I'd leave it, all right? So what I'm going to do with what I showed you last week and I cut in half, I'm just going to come in here and put it right here. I'm not going to glue it down just yet right now. I could, right? I could. Because one side's going to be, I'm going to stamp it, right? I'm going to stamp a sentiment. I haven't decided if I'm going to stamp on both sides or not. But then I'm just going to use glue. So as soon as this finishes, I will put some finish up on the inside of our other card we're making, our Easter card. So yes, so when I was looking at this, I was doing butterflies, but I've made some of these butterflies and put them with the Easter card. So my last card, I'm debating that I'll show you, that I'll post for you tomorrow to see. That's part of the free class kit to go. It's gonna have a butterfly on it. So you just have to wait tomorrow to see what that butterfly looks like. And I'm just going to make sure I line this up. Alright, so now I have something I can stamp a sentiment on here. And I could do the same thing on this side too. I haven't decided completely yet. Now this one here I might have to trim just a little bit. Right, I just want to make sure it's the right one, right? I don't want to mess with the one I just made. Okay, and for whatever reason I just was off a little bit today, but I thought that was pretty cool, so I just left it. Alright, and that's about the small stuff. Alright, so this here, I just glued the center down. I didn't glue the whole thing down, because if you notice, it looks like the butterfly has wings, and that was deliberate, right? Because when I made this card, I thought, actually, and I can thank Bridget. Bridget said, man, after we got through Mardi Gras, she said, we need to make something. So I did this down at her house. We made it, and I couldn't figure out how I was going to finish it, so I just let it sit overnight. Alright, so see how that just gives it like that? That's because I just glued the center. So that's all we're going to do is we're just going to glue the center down. So when I say the center, it is literally the center of the butterfly, and that's it. Okay? I didn't even, yeah. That's all I did. Then the thing is, I'm going to glue this down. Let me go ahead and cut this. Actually, I did this last time. I actually cut this after the fact. But I'm just going to come in with my scissors. I'm just going to cut it off right there. Okay? Because I don't need a gold set of butterfly antennae. I'll get the other. So I just try to cut it. I don't know, I'm shaking. I feel like I'm hungry or something. I may need some caffeine. Alright, so I'm just going to take that right there. Okay? And so it just looks like it's just an extension. And I just centered it up. Right? So we're just going to center it up. Just like that. And so I just want to make sure I'm allowing just some of this color of the very vanilla to show right there, right? So you can see the layers. And I'll just sort of give it a moment to dry the glue there, right? Alright, so then we have this one here, and we're going to do the same thing, right? Because I want the wings to be able to flex right here. And again, we're just going to use some glue. And then we'll just do the same thing to the other side. Now this one didn't have any antennae on it, so I didn't have to clip the butterfly. And so the only thing I did right is I just sort of made sure, as I'm doing right now, is, okay, where are those wings landing, right? Where are those wings landing? Okay, so there we go. Looks like I need to just squish it just a little bit. So glue allows you, right, to do that just a little bit. Alright, so that is one side, and all we're going to do is flip it over and do the very same thing. This time around, though, I'm going to go ahead and cut a little antennae off first. And I just sort of rounded it a little bit there, right? So it just looked like it was done that way. Alright, so I'm going to flex those wings. Alright? Okay. So yeah, if I tell you I'm going to do something, I really like to make sure I do it, right? So that's what I told you last week. I'd show you how we do this. I got so carried away with the Easter cards, right? That's okay. Easter's around the corner, and I like making the faith-based ones. I've done some of the storybook ones that I did also with Easter with the rabbits. But I also like to do some faith-based ones too. Alright, see how nicely that just fits in? Just fits in real nice there. It's going to look like that there. And I just make sure I got them sort of like there, right? That's right. Alright, so it's going to dry. So we're done. That's how easy it was to make this. It's more deciding which sentiment I want to put on the inside. So you can see it's just a little bit different because I put that right there accidentally. It did that way, so it's opportunity for creativity. And I'll fluff these up once it's all dry. Okay? So let's go back to the card we were originally making. And let's, so the only thing we got left is, you just want to make sure, I might have to push that more. I might have to come back and reinforce with some glue. That's okay too. Main thing is I just get the front the way I want it, right? Okay, there we go. Alright, so on the inside then, all I did is I took my Wink of Stella and I put a bee on every single page. Okay? So we're not going to sit here and do each and every one, because you can do that too. I can at least put my Wink of Stella for you can see it there. And let's see if I did it on this page. This page I did not, because I knew I was going to write a sentiment. So all I did was come in and we're going to put a little bee trinket right there. And we're going to put another one right over here. Now you could sign on each page if you wanted to. I didn't. But these guys are just fun, right? We had some before that were bigger bees, but these little ones are really cute. Because you can't really tell, right? Sometimes people think it's a butterfly because it's so tiny. You have to really have your glasses on if you need glasses. Just detail it out between a butterfly and a teeny tiny bee. Oops. Okay, let's see if I can get that again. I know I could get my tool out and use my tool, but I didn't. Okay, there we go. And we'll let that dry, and then we're done, right? So I've showed you now today how you make this card, and I'll sit up there and put the tutorial out there with my newsletter. I'll be putting out a newsletter later today, or most probably it'd be tomorrow. That was my original one. I sort of like messed it up a while ago when I was messing with it. Okay, so anyway, I'll put the tutorial out there, and it'll be there so that you'll have it as well too with the newsletter, and then you'll see the information about the upcoming retreat. So here are the ones. Here's 3 of the 4, and the 4th one you'll see posted tomorrow. So you have until March 31st, right, to sit there and decide if you want to get the to-go kit. So I hope you enjoy this, right? It's because it's all about creating, sharing, and giving. You know, Easter time for me, I really like to do some simple, right? Because the one I showed you didn't show you, but I had the example there for you. It was simple. I wanted to show you how I did the stepped up ones, right? Because that's important to know. So with that, I hope you enjoy this, and I want to thank you for following us on social media, not only here, but also on Facebook. Well, we are on Facebook, right? YouTube and Instagram. With that, be blessed. Have an amazing week. Look forward for tomorrow where I'll post the last card. So you'll see all 4 cards. And other than that, join us on Sunday at 2 o'clock p.m. We'll be here with Zoe and Nana. We'll be doing the paper pumpkin kit, but it's also our kit together time. So we'll throw in a little kit where we'll make a couple of things as well besides the paper pumpkin. And if you have a kit or paper pumpkin, come join us because that's what it's all about, right? So be blessed. Look forward to seeing you hopefully on Sunday. If not, it's 2 o'clock p.m. If not, I'll see you next week at Wednesday. I'll keep it simple or step it up. Meanwhile, look for the newsletter that'll have the tutorial, and also look for the see if I can think. I can't think. The retreat, right? So early bird registration. Yes, we do have pre-retreat challenges, but that's what I was thinking of. But no, it's early bird registration that you need to do first. With that, be blessed. Have an amazing day. Bye.